What's going on, everybody? S.L.B coming at you with another video review, and this time we're taking a look at S.H. Figuarts Ant-Man and Ant from the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie. Let's take a quick look at the packaging. You kind of see me in there. Hello, everybody. Can you see me? Barely. Anyways, packaging. Let's go. Front of the packaging, got the figure, got the ant, got a nice picture of Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. This side of the packaging just has the growing effect, which kind of continues on into the front there. Just a picture of the figure right there at the bottom. Oh, big packaging. This side of the packaging just has Ant-Man and Ant. There's another illustration of Ant-Man and the Ant, the logo. Back to packaging, just have your product shots here. You can do this, that. They can do this and this and this. Top of the packaging, nothing. Bottom of the packaging, just another product shot right there, plus your warning. That is it for the packaging. Let's get him out of his plastic prison and see what he looks like in hand. So before we get into the figure and the giant ant themselves, let's go over what's included really quickly. Everything comes packaged separately except for two hands, but he does come with a beret of hands. He comes with two open palm hands right here. They're nicely done, nicely sculpted. He does come packaged with two gripping hands, which will play into factor when we get into the ant. But there are those. And he comes with these two closed fists, which actually come on the figure, but I just want to show them to you up close first and foremost, and they're really nicely done. Also included are two antennae for the ant here. Some decent molding, black plastic, a little bit of texture to them, look pretty good. Also included in the packaging are wings for the ant, and these are just clear plastic with some black outlines there. Very light, very nice, very nicely done. And you get a stand for the ant. That's about it. Let's move on to the main event. So here we have Ant-Man and the Ant out of the packaging, and let's go over really quickly let's go over the ant first, and then we'll move on to Ant-Man here. Let's put him off to the side. And I kept two of the wings off and one on the antenna off just to show you how to put them on. It's pretty self-explanatory. There is no right or wrong way for the antenna. They're the exact same thing. It's a peg and a hole here, and when you push them in, let me see how well I can do this on camera. So there's a ridge on this and on the antennas right here underneath, right under my nail right here. That's gonna, when you first put them in, it's gonna have a nice stopping point. You feel like you're gonna be done, but actually you want to push in until you hear a little snap, and that's going to go in there all the way, and it's going to be flush on the head here. The wings, the instructions do tell you that there is a right and a wrong way to do it. If you look on the part right here that connects the wings, there's a bit of a panel right here. If you plug it in like that, that's the wrong way. You want to make sure this part is on the bottom, and it's just a simple ball peg. Plug it until you hear a snap, and you're good to go. And the smaller wings go in the back, and the bigger wings go in the front. So there's that. I just want to show that off really quickly. So there you have that, and now let's focus on the figure here. And he is beautiful. He is really good looking. I love the texture of it. The molding is really nicely done. That face is okay. Could have used a little bit more paint throughout, but the texture is nice. Looks really good. These little claw bits up here look really nice. Again, could use a little bit more paint. The eyes are really nicely done. It's a molded plastic. Looks really good. Moving on to the legs. The legs are really nicely done. These top toes right here are really sharp, as well as the bits back here. Really nice. Got a nice point to them. And it's got some little bit of molded detail, molded texture throughout all of this, and looks really good, as well as his badonkadonk here, some molded detail here, a little bit of a texture to it. Looks really good. The paint on the seat here, this is not, it does not come off. It's kind of molded in there, but the paintwork is really nicely done. The the red's got a nice shine to it, whereas the seat has a nice flat look to it. And you got a gunmetal gray and a little silver bit up here. Looks really nicely done. It's just the same on the other side here. Articulation-wise for the ant, the antenna can move, can do a full 360. The head can do a full 360. That's about all you're going to get out of the ant, which is kind of a shame. The legs can move forward and back. There's no bend at the knees or anything like that, or no toe articulation. They all just back and forth like this. And his badonkadunk can turn. You can get underside here and get a little bit of that texture right there as well. And the wings are on ball joints. Not a lot of range of movement in those, but you do get some movement, which is nice. It's something. It's not a lot, but at least it's something, you know. And he stands up on his own pretty well. He's not that heavy. He doesn't have a lot of weight to him. He's very light. It's all hollow inside there, which is nice. Which means if you want to hang him up by like fishing line or something like that, he's not gonna come crashing down. So that's good. But the stand is included as well, and it's just a matter of that and that. Is it this way? No, it's definitely this way. I think you gotta get the legs just right. There, as your stand for your ant. I mean, it's really not that necessary to have the stand. He can hold himself up. You know, the plastic doesn't feel cheap at all. It feels really solid, really sturdy. So if you don't want to have the stand, he's going to hold himself up pretty good. So yeah, there's that for the ant. We'll bring him back later. And now let's move on to Ant-Man here. And he's a really nice figure. I like him. Let's get into the detail. The helmet looks sharp, looks crisp, looks clean. Grab Mr. Pointer Spudger here. Some red plastic for the eyes around some black paint here. Looks really good. Some red paint up here. Looks really good. Some nice textured bits in the shoulders as well as the chest area, and it follows throughout down the legs. Looks really good. And he even has some on the back too, which is really nice. Looks really good. Some nice red paint in the buckle here. Follows some red paint here with some silver paint for the belt. Looks really sharp. A little bit of molded detail around here to give it kind of like a fabric feel, which is nice. And this texture, I can't get over this texture. It's just, ooh, it looks so good. And it feels good. He feels really light too. I thought he'd be a little heavier, but no, he's pretty light. Yeah. No real paint details in the feet area, but he does have some treads in the bottom of his feet, which give him kind of a grip, which is nice. So yeah, there's that. Articulation-wise, he's got a lot of articulation on him. You can get some really nice poses out of him. The head is on a ball joint. You can do a whole range of movement up there. You even got a ball joint at the base of the neck here, so you can look down pretty far. You can look up pretty far too. The shoulder pads, I guess you want to call them, they are on a hinge, so you can get them out of the way, so the arm can move out that far. Can do a full rotation there, as well as they got a little up and down movement here. Swivel at the bicep. No swivel at the elbow. Double jointed elbow, so you can get over 9 degrees there. There's a hinge right here, so you can get up and down on the wrist, as well as a swivel, which is nice. Ball joint at the midsection here. A little bit of range of movement, as well as another ball right here, so you can get an decent ab crunch out of them, as well as a swivel here. Hips, again, universal, can do the splits very well, can go forward and back fairly well. There's also a swivel. It's also a little bit of a hinge right here, so you can get even more movement if you like. Double jointed knees, so you can get over well over 9 degrees bend at the knee. little bit of a swivel. It's just due to the pant leg right here, but you do get up and down rotation at the ankle as well as a toe bend there. So that's cool. Let's get into some comparisons for Ant-Man here. Let's get him in a standing pose, move him right there. There we go. Let's move him closer a little bit there, shall we? Alright. So for comparison, let's bring out S.H. Figuarts Stone Cold Steve Austin. Let's give you an idea of what he looks like there. And they're about the same height, I would say. If Stone Cold would stand up. There you go. They're around about the same height, so looks pretty good together. For another comparison, here he is next to WWE Elite figure, which is about a head taller. So there's that. And for one more comparison, here he is next to Lego Ant-Man. Yeah, because I can. So yeah. And for comparison, let's bring out the Ant right here. Let's move Ant-Man out of the way. Since we showed off Lego Ant-Man, let's show off the Lego Ant. If he'll stand up. So yeah, there you have that for a comparison. A Lego ant with an actual ant. So yeah, there's that. So let me show you the one thing you can do with him here is you can take, where'd they go? The gripping hands here. And it's really simple, just pop off the hand. It's on a ball joint. Pop it back on. Pop it off. Pop it on. There we go. There is no... Let's get these out of the way so I don't lose them. There is no right or wrong way to put him on the seat. You just kind of have to finagle him through. You kind of got to bend his feet a little bit. Kind of slide him through there. You go. Just kind of grip. You kind of got to slide the gripping hands on there. There's one. There's two. And there you can have him riding Antonio Banderas, Anthony Bourdain, Anthony Hopkins. And that's all the Ant names that I have. That's all I can think off the top of my head. So final thoughts for Ant-Man and the Ant here from Ant-Man and the Wasp movie. Ant-Man looks great. He's beautifully done. The joints, little, like a hair too loose. I would have liked if they were a little tighter. Sculpting and the paint is fantastic on Ant-Man. On the Ant, I would have liked a little bit more paint, like around this area, maybe a little throughout, you know, the body and the legs. I maybe would have liked a little bit more posability in the legs, maybe a hinge or a ball joint instead of just a swivel down here. I would have liked maybe a little bit more range of movement in the wings. A few more accessories would have been nice too, like maybe an alternate head for Ant-Man here. Something with the Paul Rudd face. Or maybe even you could have had the little building that came with. Maybe a little building like in the movie. That would have been nice to have. Again, I don't understand the purpose of the stand. It's just flat on the floor. Maybe if they had like a Tamashi stand, or maybe you can get like a Tamashi stand and kind of have him in a flying pose. But you may want to get a couple of them. The Ant doesn't have that much weight, but he's still got some heft to him. So if you're going to use Tamashi stands, the clear plastic ones, I would recommend using 2 of them just to keep him balanced. But like I said, overall, he's a good figure. So this is S.L.B. If you like this video, hit that like button, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Hit me up on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Look at my shirt, see if you want to buy it. All that fun stuff will be in the description down below. This is S.L.B. and this has been my review of S.H. Figuarts, Ant-Man and the Ant. And this is S.L.B. saying, my childhood hates me.